I've got plenty to be thankful for. My needs are small, I buy 'em all at the 5 and 10 cent store. Oh, I've got plenty to be thankful for.
I used to love this town. Until what happened that night. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I'm tired of pretending like everything is normal when it's not.
I want things to go back to normal too.
Show some enthusiasm. Thanksgiving is an institution here.
Someone's up for revenge, and they're turning it into a sick holiday game.
This is weird. We're all tagged, and our names are at the table. But why us?
The longer this goes, the more twisted it gets. Every weapon he's using is straight off a Thanksgiving table.
I don't want to spend my life looking over my shoulder. We need to stop him.
It is going to be a very happy Thanksgiving.
Let's see.
Welcome to Movie Uppers. I am Bob Sham.
I am Angela.
And the sounds you hear may be dogs.
Yes.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving!
It is literally Thanksgiving. There's no way.
The best day.
There's no way you're not too busy to hear this show on the day we drop it.
Listen, you might need a break from your fam.
Yeah.
Or a way
what
to
better way
let
to
go
take a break?
after.
What a better way to take a break than to sit and listen to us talk about this movie. We're not going to, no spoilers here. Very mild. We're just going to talk about the setup, what we felt about it, the tone of the movie. Also, let me reiterate, my favorite holiday is today, the day this is dropped, Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I love the food. It's just food you only eat like once a year, right? And you just have to be with the people you love. You don't have to buy a bunch of shit. Although, you know, paying for a whole meal can add up. Turkeys are pricey. What, $30 on our turkey
Yeah.
or something like that?
Yeah.
I guess you got to spend a little bit, but
all the everything else adds up.
But yeah, we ain't got to buy a Razor scooter or any shit like that, right?
Right.
Well, Eli Roth was like, let me make a movie for Bobby.
Yes. And Angela.
I wouldn't consider myself a big horror guy, but the fact that there is a Thanksgiving themed slasher horror out there.
Perfect.
When I knew it was coming, I was like, yeah, why not? I actually discussed it with you earlier, but we did not remember something.
Yeah.
That Grindhouse double feature from like the 2007 or something like that, where you had Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof, Robert Rodriguez Planet Terror, and then in between those we had fake commercials for movies that were coming out. We all remember Machete. That one was one that stuck out. But I completely forgot that Eli Roth had made a fake trailer for a horror that was stylized like a 70s slasher.
Yeah.
And it was Thanksgiving.
This holiday season, prepare to have the stuffing scared out of you. Thanksgiving. In the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, the fourth Thursday in November is the most celebrated day of the year. The table is set. The festivities have begun. What an uninvited guest had arrived. And this year, there will be no leftovers.
Go back and watch that. I can't play the whole thing on there. It's actually pretty lewd for a trailer. But yeah, there's some things in there, if you've seen this movie and you've seen that trailer, that do match up.
Yeah.
So Eli Roth literally expounded upon like this fun little fake trailer he made
15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Amazing.
And based on that, actually built a story and made the actual Thanksgiving
love
slasher today. Eli Roth, Cabin Fever, Hostel, that one with the house with the clock in its walls. What's another one? He remade Death Wish. That wasn't very well regarded. Had Bruce Willis in it. Known for these visceral, graphic horror. Yeah. This movie is graphic.
Yeah.
Very graphic. But it also is like, if you just kind of spitball in your mind, and you can see a lot of this in the trailer as well, as to how would you want to kill people in a Thanksgiving themed way?
Right.
Maybe you want to cook them. Maybe you want to do something with the corn cob skewers. Maybe you want to... I'm just kind of laughing just...
Food related, a lot of knives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meat tenderizers, such.
Yeah.
Done in the Eli Roth way, in which... this is a very gory movie.
It is very gory. I cannot stop smiling because I felt giddy watching this movie. It's so hard these days to have new horror movies that are legitimately good. You can kind of have like a story, but okay, it's not really horror. It's more like mystery, or it's more like suspense. Or you have like the straight gore. And to be honest, back in the day, I was not really into like Hostel and stuff, because it really just felt like we're just trying to cut people's Achilles tendons and like do like the worst things we can to people, right? But this was like both. It was good story, I think, and like social commentary.
You know,
and gore.
I mean, it's a slasher. It's a gory slasher. We've seen that over and over again. But I think there's something about the idea of it. Let's make it Thanksgiving themed. And you noted how, like, it made me think of, like, this is the Thanksgiving as in opposition to the Halloween.
Yeah.
And in that sense, like, I don't think I would mind more Thanksgiving.
I want more Thanksgiving.
But it just seems to be
leftovers.
Using that idea, using Thanksgiving as the backdrop. And there are some Thanksgiving themed movies out there, but not like an extensive amount. Like, you lose count of the Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Any horror movie is essentially a Halloween movie, but Thanksgiving, maybe you can pull out 10, and then after that, you're having to struggle.
It's true.
And Thanksgiving at best will just kind of more make an appearance. Mm-hmm. And then lead into the other holidays. We get that a lot as well. Mm-hmm. But nah, this one's for the pure Thanksgiving heads. Like I said, we're not going to spoil. We are going to tell you about the setup to the movie. We're not going to reveal who the killer is. We'll let y'all go see the movie and decide that for yourself.
We're not going to go beat by beat.
This does star Patrick Dempsey, who's the biggest name of the movie, Addison Rae, Milo Manheim, Jalen T. Brooks. And Addison Rae, I think this is the first case in which... she's essentially the lead, and even though Patrick Dempsey is the bigger name, it does seem to kind of center around Addison and her friends.
Yeah,
but
she's the Sydney.
And Patrick Dempsey is the sheriff who's trying to solve what's going on with these murders. Mm-hmm. But Addison Rae is kind of the first person we've probably encountered in our movies so far in which she became famous through social media.
Oh, really?
Like, she did some dancing, became a big TikTok star. Got an agent who apparently is a pretty good agent that got her in on some product deals and other roles. I think she's done one other movie here and has more movies lined up. But yeah, Addison Rae is an actual, like, what a lot of people hope to be when they fuck with their Instagram or their TikToks, and with the idea that they're going to make it big. Mm-hmm. It's honestly, let's be honest, it's like one in even if you have 1 million followers, that doesn't even mean you're going to hit it the way Addison Rae hits it.
Yeah.
And yeah, she kind of accomplished it. And she did a fine
She
job.
did a fine job. Yeah,
really
she
have-
was good at this.
I have no complaint over anyone in this
No.
movie. And if anything, and let's get into the setup of the movie. We're not going to get into the details, but let's talk about the setup. Takes place on a Black Friday, right?
Yeah.
Perfect way to set up
Well, it's Thanksgiving.
a revenge-fueled Thanksgiving. I talk about this shit all the time. Like, no one should have to go to their fucking jobs at
Yeah.
6 p.m. at night to just so some, like, fucking chowderheads.
Black
This takes
Friday
place in
should
Plymouth,
not start
Massachusetts.
at 6 p.m. the day before.
That's horrible.
It's
horrible.
insane. You see a gentleman having to literally put on his Right Mart uniform and go to work. He's leaving his Thanksgiving dinner
Yeah.
because
And-
he got called in because someone else called out.
And Addison Rae's character, she's the daughter of the guy that runs the Right Mart.
The other big name, Gina Gershon.
Right. And Gina Gershon is, I guess
She's the wife of the man who got called in. He's leaving her for dinner. They're
Right,
friends with Patrick Dempsey.
right. And so that her and her friends, they end up deciding to go to Right Mart anyway. I guess they need a new phone or something.
Yeah, one of the boys got into a fight and busted his phone. They're supposed to be going to a movie. The guy who owns the store is her
dad.
So she can go in the employee entrance. She probably has a key card or something.
So they're kind of, her friends are kind of flaunting the fact in front of this growing crowd of people
She's
that they
not.
get to, she actually hates
Her
it.
dumb friends are.
And she actually advocates for, not having to open your store on Thanksgiving.
She's mad that her dad opened.
And so we know where this is going. The crowd starts pushing up the door while the daughter and their friends are just looking around the store. And then the security opts to open the door before people get trampled. And the security guy,
You shouldn't probably tell all this.
well, this is just the setup.
I know, but okay.
This is the setup.
Okay.
It's Black Friday. What happens in real life when people just storm a store in Black Friday?
Yeah.
People get trampled to death.
Yeah.
And lives get ruined.
Yeah.
That's
And
what happened here.
happens. Yeah.
That's the setup for the rest of the movie.
Absolutely.
Without ever knowing who the character is or the killer is until the very end.
Yeah.
We know that they're motivated by what happened on this Black
It is all
Friday.
about that day.
And for that reason, the aspects of Black Friday that I hate, does Black Friday even pop off this hard nowadays?
Yeah.
I guess so. We just make it a point not to do anything.
It still does, but
Online is
the
definitely more
deals
prevalent, I
start
think.
November 1.
Yeah.
So Black Friday, I've been getting Black Friday emails for weeks already. I know that it's still a thing because I have family members who haven't been able to come to Thanksgiving in years because they work for corporations that are open on Black Friday, and they make them come in on a Thursday night like this does.
The fucking war on Thanksgiving, man. It's a literal war on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I think they still, what this movie posits is that the first 100 people are going to get a waffle iron.
A free waffle iron.
And I'm sure that stores do stuff like that to get you to go there in person. You can buy online, but it's an even bigger discount in person, or you get a free whatever. There's thousands of people outside and 100 waffle irons.
Look, folks. Stay home with your family. If you don't have to go to a fucking store,
Don't do it.
don't.
No.
Stay home.
In our entire relationship, there has been one time, and we were not Christmas shopping. We got a dog and had to
And
go
needed to
buy
get some
dog
stuff.
food.
And
And we just were literally pulled up in the parking lot and went, oh shit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's that day.
We kind of forgot the day because so much would happen.
Because we don't, but we also don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have gone if it had not been a necessity. We do not support.
If I
being
owned
open
a store,
on that day.
if I owned a store, I wouldn't open up until noon the next day, and I would have bigger deals than all the other stores. And be like, if you just sleep in and then come to
Let your
show up.
employees off early on Wednesday and don't make them come back to work until Saturday at noon. Amazing.
Or I was meeting Friday at noon.
Oh,
but
Friday at noon's fine,
you're an
too.
even better boss than me. So the fact that the killer is motivated by the horrors that happened on Black Friday, I was automatically sympathetic.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even though as the brutal gore fest, the way people die in this movie is intense.
But there was a point in the middle of this riot where I turned to you and said, I cannot wait to see these people die.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like this horrible terrifying regressive state that these people go into where they become animals and they will literally kill someone else for a $25 piece of garbage.
We have a waffle iron. I bet we won't use it more than 20 times in our whole life.
I love that waffle iron.
You're not going to go stand in
I
line.
wouldn't even go to the store.
You're not
going to
go ruin You're not going to ruin your own holiday over it.
No. I went to the store Sunday before Thanksgiving, and I do not plan on going back to the store until next weekend. Or this weekend.
You know, I feel very fortunate with our Thanksgiving because we host your family, and I like your family a lot. And it's not a matter of that maybe we're in the same social political mind with all your relatives. That's definitely probably not the case.
No, it's not.
But your family understands that being together is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be like, you don't have that one. Well, maybe they just don't come around very much. But, you know, at least the ones that come over, they're not the relatives that are like, what about these fucking immigrants and shit like that, you know? Like they understand what's important, and that's when being with the people you love, not trying to air out these things that might cause conflict.
Yep.
So in that sense, I'm very fortunate. I feel like I'm very fortunate with my Thanksgiving, and I'm very grateful for it. And if people... And I'm also the kind of guy that will also make peace with that.
Yeah.
But if you start it off, I'm not going to sit there and just listen to you.
No, you can't.
And I think I got a lot of relatives in my life that understand that about me, so they've kind of learned that. Mm-hmm. I won't start it, but I can flame it. But that's not what you should be doing. And I'm sorry, you know, we all have a relative that is just, you know, talks more than they think. You know, we all have those relatives, and maybe you need to weed a feud out, or maybe tell them to teach them to be respectful wherever they're at. But still, Thanksgiving, I just hate how dismissed it is. I think it's something special. You can, the history of it is whatever. I mean, the history, this movie takes place in Plymouth, Massachusetts, so it's got, that literal history there. It would be interesting to go to Thanksgiving in that. I've got family in Massachusetts, and I think I like Thanksgiving better than they do, but it would be interesting
they get bigger on Christmas.
It would be interesting to kind of go to Plymouth and like see what they do there.
That rock, guys, it's nothing.
They
saw it.
They were just like, yeah, this is Plymouth Rock. Yeah, it was like the most unimpressive thing I've ever seen. Eli Roth from Newton, I think it's Newton, Massachusetts. It's like just on the other side of Brookline, west of Boston. So
it was interesting. There were some really great accents in this movie. Some really,
I could have used more.
I was going to say Addison Rae, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I don't think that she had one at all.
No, she wasn't.
But she was also like a little rich girl.
But I get it. I grew up in the sticks. My accent's not super thick either.
Sure. I actually at some point tried to have less of an accent. I've gone back into having more of one as an adult.
Patrick Dempsey's accent was pretty good.
He did a good job.
But if you want to be like real true Massachusetts, everyone should just be calling each other homophobic slurs left and right. Borderline or overt racist things without even thinking about it. That's how everyone should be talking to each other. They should be calling each other.
You don't need to give examples.
That's just how they say good morning over there.
I know. I know.
I'm not really making an excuse for it, but they do go kind of hard up there.
Yeah.
We literally live in the South, and we're like,
yeah, and we're like,
oh, you know, but they also are legitimately funny. They are legitimately some of the funniest people you will ever meet. Anyway, yeah, Thanksgiving. We're not going to get much more into it.
I will say, too, you know what impresses me a lot? Sorry to interrupt you. Always is when I see kills I've never seen before.
Oh, yeah. The very unique kills in this.
There's some very unique kills, and even just injuries. There is, I will not spoil it, there is something that happens to someone's face. That truly
oh my God, shocked
me.
We walked into the theater and we was sat right down from this family that had a little girl.
Oh God, I felt so bad
and
for
you
this
said that
child.
little girl was like curled up into a ball at the end of this movie.
There were points where I could hear her whimpering. There was 1 or 2 times where I heard her say, "I am so scared."
It's awesome.
I occasionally would look over at her. I couldn't really see her because it's, the scarier parts tend to be darker parts. We're in the theater. You can't really see each other's faces, but I just felt so bad for I didn't get a good look at her before the movie started, but what was she, like 9?
If that, yeah.
If that. I mean, she was little, and it broke my heart to hear her just be like, "I'm so scared."
I mean, I guess you could call it pretty realistic gore, like if this shit would
Definitely.
happen to you.
It was very
know?
realistic. There was like one part where something happened to someone's abdomen where I felt like that looked a little awkward, but like, how do you make that not look awkward? Because you're adding things on top of a person.
Well, the first kill, I was like...
It's very visceral and very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not computery.
The first kill that the killer does,
Yeah.
I was like, how did that happen? But then after that, it was like, oh yeah.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. I mean, some of it,
But I mean, realistic...
it's like the killer's a little stronger than a human should be, but that's common for killers this.
When I mean it's realistic, not necessarily that, like, yeah, the killer does seem like a lot of slashers to be as strong or as capable as they need to be.
But the wounds and the way
Yes.
they do the treatment
If
of
something
the
goes
injuries,
through your face,
it goes through your face.
then that seems like, yeah, that's probably what that would look like if something went through somebody's face.
Yeah.
And that little girl got to sit through all that.
And I felt bad because there were moments where I was so excited. I was at one point like, we were in the recliner seats, and was it at the end? I like actually put my recliner down and like leaned forward, which is what I do when I'm super excited. And I was like giggling, hitting you. Like I was so excited. And so there were these points where like, I'm just like fucking thrilled. And then this little girl's
just panicking. Her Thanksgiving was ruined.
But look, it's not my fault. I didn't bring a child to this movie.
No, nor would
and I
we.
had fun. And it was fucking fun.
If we had a kid, we'd say, go out in the backyard while we watch this movie.
I actually really loved...
Clean up the dog shit.
Totally. I actually really loved that we didn't... Right. I actually really loved that we didn't know these characters.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like it could be the start of something. That's also very Halloween. Like, nobody knew who Jamie Lee Curtis was.
Sure.
You know? And this girl is not... I mean, she's obviously the final girl. I don't think that's a spoiler. Like, she's the lead. The lead is... She's the Sydney, if this was Scream. You know, like, it's that whole thing.
Yeah.
The group of friends. But this movie, I don't know, it just did something better.
It was just a really... It's just the theme of it is what made it feel so fresh.
Even when I actually wondered if you were going to comment on this and you haven't, so I'm going to straight ask you. When we do get to the reveal and we get the monologue of the why, were you okay with it?
Yeah.
Because I know you hate that in Scream films. Not in the first one, right? Maybe it's like it gets repetitive.
Well, when I was watching this movie, like I was imagining it being franchised and what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I almost said I hope it goes the Halloween way, but most of the Halloween movies suck except for like 2 other ones outside the first one.
Right.
But I wouldn't want this to be a Scream thing where...
No.
But it seems like it could easily turn into a Scream thing.
I would...
But for the most part, I was actually satisfied with who the killer was.
Well, and I actually think it's more likely to be a Halloween thing. I would hope. I think in this day and age, hopefully Eli Roth being who he is and the people that he knows, I would imagine that hopefully he wouldn't fuck it up.
I mean, he only did the sequel to
There's a
Hostel.
couple Hostels.
Yeah, there's a couple there.
I don't know. I would like to see another one though.
If he makes another, I will check it out just based on what he made with this one. Because, again, I love Thanksgiving. And you gave me a Thanksgiving slasher. And you gave me a killer with the motivations that I can actually kind of relate to.
Absolutely.
I didn't want Addison Rae's character to die. And there was a couple other characters I didn't want to die. But I honestly felt like I was on the killer's side for most of the time.
Yeah.
Would I go around and murder
They
people?
could have killed a few more people.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
there's a few people they should have probably killed that they didn't. Watch it. Let us
That's
know
kind
what
of
you think
that's
about
kind of
that
what
statement.
That's kind of what makes you think that there should be a sequel.
This is why I'm saying it does feel like it could be a Halloween thing. If you don't finish the job, there's always next year.
Will we get a different John Carver? That's the killer's. That's the slasher's name is John Carver, by the way.
It'd be fun if the next one was, I don't know. I think they could play on the Fright Mart thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Fright
think it's so
Mart?
cool.
You mean Right Mart?
No, there's a part where John Carver writes Fright Mart at one of his scenes. It's just really cool. Also, they gave us, because we saw it on the first weekend, a poster.
Yeah.
That has like a build your own John Carver.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we saw it opening weekend, so we got some free stuff out of it. But yeah. let's rate it. I kept saying that I'm about a respectable 3.75, but I did kind of connect with the themes because I love Thanksgiving. I connected with the killer's motivations. I also fucking hate Black Friday, which is the true villain of this movie, is Black Friday. Let's be honest.
And large corporations.
And I did kind of feel like, and I did feel like that Eli Roth kind of made a movie for me, like a personal slasher movie for me. So I'm upping it to a 4. I think it's a solid 4 out of 5.
And that's what I was going to give it, because I do think this is an 8.
We may go higher than a lot of people on this, but I don't give a fuck. It really is.
It was so fun.
I can't remember a slasher this good that was made in the last several years as good as this.
No.
Truly.
Like, there's been some movies, like I said, it'll either have the gore or the story.
Yeah.
You know? Give me Terrifier gore.
Yeah. Well, Terrifier is all gore.
But Terrifier is a terrible movie.
Yeah. Only the gore is impressive.
The gore in Cocaine Bear was interesting. Yeah. It was probably the best part of the movie to me.
The slasher aspect of that was the only good part. But again, the story is not there.
It's not there.
The theme is weak.
Delivered across the board.
But here, the theme really helps make this feel fresh. Fresh as hot stuffing fresh out of the oven. Fresher than a perfectly cooked turkey. It's an 8 out of 10.
Yes.
A tier. Probably our highest rated modern horror so far that we've discussed. Thanksgiving. Oh, let me scroll down a bit. There you go. Thanksgiving. Eli Roth. It's all an alphabetical horror there. Hoarder. It's good. It's really
great.
is. It's fun. If you like this, if you're into this kind of thing, I think you're really going to like it. I think you're really going to get a lot out of it. And if you love Thanksgiving and hate Black Friday, I think you're going to get a lot out of it.
Hell yeah.
If you're a hater ass bitch, I don't know, go be a bitch somewhere else. We've rated this the same score as Killers of the Flower Moon. And I think it deserved it.
Yeah.
So, folks, we hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Check the show notes for links and other places to find us. Have you seen this movie? Tell us what you think of it. And what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Also, fuck it. I have to say at the end of this one, death to all traitors.